Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, two of country music's most beloved voices, icons whose duets have been sung from rooftops to honky-tonks across the world. And yet for years, the golden image of their marriage was just that, an image. In a world where every smile is captured, every gesture analyzed, and every headline scrutinized, they maintained a silence that left fans wondering what life behind the cameras truly looked like. Now at 57, Tim McGraw has finally spoken, not to defend, not to entertain, but to reveal the truth about what it has taken to keep their marriage alive, honest and real. The story is not of scandal, but of endurance, of love that persists through exhaustion, expectation, and the relentless glare of a world that has watched them grow together and apart for more than 2 decades. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill met at the Academy of Country Music Awards in 1996, a meeting that would alter the course of country music history. At the time, Faith had already carved her path with hits like Wild One and Piece of My Heart, her voice powerful and commanding. Tim was emerging as a force in the industry, a rising star whose albums, including Not a Moment Too Soon, had captured the hearts of fans across the nation. Their connection was immediate, magnetic and visible to anyone who watched them perform or attend the ceremony together. By the end of that year, they were married in a ceremony that seemed to merge Hollywood glamour with country tradition. But even in those early days, the pressures of fame began to shape their lives. Touring schedules pulled them in different directions. Award seasons demanded appearances in cities hundreds of miles apart, and every public moment was dissected by fans and media alike. The love that had drawn them together faced challenges neither had anticipated, not from each other, but from the spotlight that refused to look away. Their friendship, admiration, and mutual passion for music became the foundation of a partnership both fragile and resilient. Tim and Faith performed together frequently, their duets demonstrating a harmony that audiences believed extended to their private lives. Behind closed doors, the reality was more complex. Long flights, late-night performances, and endless interviews tested their patience, revealing cracks beneath the sparkling image of a perfect couple. Despite the challenges, their shared commitment to family provided an anchor. Raising 3 daughters in a world that thrived on exposure demanded balance, negotiation, and an understanding that neither could afford to lose sight of home. Tim and Faith became experts at compartmentalizing. The stage was for the fans, the cameras, the public, the house, the dinners, the quiet moments were for them. It was a delicate balance, one that required trust, patience, and the quiet acknowledgement that love alone could not solve every problem. Tim McGraw was at the height of his career with multiple Grammy nominations, chart-topping singles, and sold-out tours. Faith Hill was likewise at her professional peak, releasing albums like Faith and Breathe, and building her own empire in country music. Their combined schedules were exhausting, but each understood the other's ambitions. They shared the rare bond of 2 artists committed not only to their craft, but to supporting one another's success. Yet the tension of public scrutiny never fully eased. Every award show, every magazine cover, every on-stage duet became a moment for interpretation. Rumors swirled, whispers of disagreements, speculation about prioritizing career over family, questions about whether a partnership forged in ambition could endure. For outsiders, the story seemed full of drama. For Tim and Faith, it was simply life, complex and unglamorous beneath the sparkle. By the end of the 1990s, the world had a picture-perfect couple, but behind the applause, the real story of Tim and Faith's marriage was taking shape. It was a story of endurance, of understanding, of 2 people navigating the impossible demands of fame while trying to preserve what mattered most, each other and their family. That foundation, tested in private, would later become the anchor for the revelations Tim McGraw would finally share decades later, the truth about the love and trials that defined their extraordinary partnership. As the years passed, the pressures of life in the public eye intensified. Tim McGraw's tours stretched for months at a time, each concert a test of endurance, each city a reminder of the life he had chosen. Faith Hill, simultaneously building a solo career with albums like Breathe, faced her own relentless schedule, performing to audiences who expected perfection night after night. The distance between them was measured not only in miles but in missed dinners, bedtime stories, and private moments lost to lights, cameras, and applause. It was during those long separations that the strain of their marriage became most palpable. Reporters speculated about disagreements, tabloid headlines hinted at arguments over priorities, and rumors of tension seeped into fan conversations. Yet behind the speculation was a truth far more complex: two people navigating extraordinary careers while trying to preserve the ordinary rhythms of family life. Their daughters, a central force in their world, became both a source of grounding and additional responsibility. Every choice, whether to accept a tour date, a television appearance, or a studio session, had repercussions at home. Tim McGraw released multiple chart-topping albums in the early 2000s, including Set This Circus Down and Live Like You Were Dying, each requiring extensive touring, media appearances, and promotional commitments. Faith Hill simultaneously produced Cry and Fireflies, each album reinforcing her status as one of country music's most celebrated voices. Their professional lives demanded constant attention, often at the expense of rest, privacy, and uninterrupted family time. The pressure to excel in parallel careers created a tension that was private, unglamorous, and rarely reported accurately. In interviews and retrospectives, insiders noted that the couple's ability to navigate this period rested on mutual respect and unspoken understanding. Arguments were inevitable, yet they were tempered by the knowledge that each was committed to the same goal: preserving their family and nurturing each other's artistic voice. The love that had drawn them together decades earlier was tested continuously, not by lack of affection but by the extraordinary circumstances of fame and ambition. The emotional toll was compounded by public perception. Every smile on stage, every duet on television, every red carpet appearance was scrutinized for signs of discord or conflict. Rumors flourished, suggesting that their marriage was at risk, that ambition had created irreparable distance. Yet those closest to the couple understood a different reality. The tension they experienced was part of a partnership forged in shared challenge. Disagreements and fatigue existed not because of failing love, but because their lives were measured against impossible expectations. Even in the midst of struggle, there were moments of triumph. Collaborative performances at award shows, spontaneous duets on late-night programs, and private moments captured in rare interviews revealed the depth of their connection. Each success was a reminder that their bond could withstand pressure, that their shared understanding of family, of career, of each other was resilient. By the end of this period, the truth about Tim and Faith's marriage became clear. It was not flawless, it was not always easy, but it was enduring. The public may have seen images of glamour and speculation of tension, yet the private story was one of patience, compromise, and unwavering commitment. Their trials in the limelight forged a foundation that would later allow Tim McGraw to finally reveal the reality of their life together, the truth of love tested, challenged, and ultimately unbroken. After decades in the spotlight, Tim McGraw's reflections on his marriage to Faith Hill reveal a story far richer than public perception. The duets, the award shows, and the headlines had long suggested perfection, yet the truth lay in quiet compromise, unwavering support, and a shared commitment that surpassed career ambitions. At 57, Tim finally spoke of their life together, not to stir rumor but to illuminate the endurance of love under extraordinary circumstances. From the earliest days, their relationship was a partnership of equals. Both had careers demanding long hours, constant travel, and relentless attention. They learned to navigate those pressures together, coordinating schedules, negotiating priorities, and finding moments of connection amidst the chaos. Touring across the country, recording albums, and attending industry events created a rhythm that was exhausting yet familiar. It was in that rhythm that their commitment was tested, and ultimately strengthened. Tim McGraw released hit albums including Live Like You Were Dying, which required world tours, television appearances, and promotional engagements. Faith Hill simultaneously achieved milestones with albums such as Fireflies, performing in arenas and maintaining a solo career that demanded equal attention. The balance between two high-profile paths combined with raising 3 daughters required patience, understanding, and a willingness to prioritize the partnership over individual ambition. What emerges from Tim's reflections is a portrait of respect and admiration. The challenges they faced were not caused by neglect or indifference, but by the demands of careers built on public scrutiny. He speaks of Faith not as a co-star in the industry, but as the foundation of his personal life, the partner whose intelligence, humor, and resilience guided their family through long separations, early mornings, and the pressures of fame. Their marriage, he emphasizes, was sustained by listening, compromise, and an unspoken understanding that love requires action more than proclamation. In revealing these truths, Tim McGraw confronts the misconceptions that had shadowed their story. Fans had speculated about tension, fatigue, and imbalance, yet the reality was far more nuanced. Their struggles were human, relatable, and grounded in shared responsibility rather than scandal. Tim's words underscore that enduring love is not born of constant harmony, but of persistent effort, respect for boundaries, and a willingness to grow together in the face of adversity. He highlights the private triumphs as much as the public successes, the family dinners, the quiet conversations before tours, and the moments when one would step back to support the other became the true markers of devotion. These were the moments hidden from cameras, unseen by fans, yet they defined the depth of their bond. The truth of their marriage is in those acts of care, the daily commitment that sustained a relationship under intense scrutiny. Ultimately, Tim McGraw's revelation transforms public perception into understanding. Their marriage is not a tale of flawless perfection but a story of endurance, respect, and genuine affection. What fans witness on stage in duets and award shows is only a glimpse. The reality is far more profound, a partnership built over decades and tested in ways the public could never see. In speaking openly, he finally honors the truth. Love, in its most enduring form, thrives not on applause or headlines but on patience, courage, and mutual devotion. Decades of fame, touring, and relentless scrutiny could have eroded any partnership. For Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, it became the very force that defined theirs. What began with early romance in 1996 transformed into a marriage forged in persistence, respect, and the quiet understanding that love cannot be measured by public applause. The challenges they faced, long separations, career demands, and the ever-watchful eyes of fans and media, became a testament to the resilience of their bond. Together they built not just a family but a shared life that intertwined professional success with personal devotion. Milestones that marked their journey were their joint tours, including the Soul II Soul series that filled stadiums across the country, collaborations on hit songs such as Let's Make Love, and the raising of 3 daughters, each nurtured amidst a world that never let them forget the McGraw-Hill family name. The work, the schedules, the public eye, all of it might have driven others apart, yet it solidified theirs. The redemption of their story lies not in perfect moments, but in endurance. Tim McGraw's revelation at 57 is not about romanticized memories or nostalgic longing, it is about truth. The recognition that a lasting partnership is built on effort, patience, and mutual respect. Faith Hill, in interviews and appearances over the years, has mirrored this sentiment, showing consistency, support, and admiration for a husband whose devotion has matched her own. Their story demonstrates that love thrives not on ease, but on the willingness to navigate the storms together. Even amid fame, their private rituals offered grounding. Shared dinners before tours, brief conversations between flights, and the small gestures of care became the backbone of their marriage. These acts, often invisible to the public, became proof that love's endurance is measured in commitment rather than headlines. In revealing these truths, Tim McGraw invites the audience to see beyond the music and the glamour, offering insight into a bond that is human, authentic, and unwavering. Both Tim and Faith have achieved multiple Grammy Awards, numerous chart-topping albums, and countless sold-out tours. Yet the real achievement is not on the stage, but in sustaining a marriage that has weathered pressures few could imagine. Each accolade, each performance, each public appearance has been accompanied by a private foundation of care and support. Their triumph is as much personal as it is professional. The conclusion of their story is a quiet triumph. Tim McGraw's disclosure at 57 does more than clarify rumors. It illuminates the enduring nature of a partnership built over decades. It reminds audiences that love, at its core, is not always loud or visible. It is in the acts of listening, in the compromises made when no one is watching, and in the unwavering commitment to face life's trials together. For fans who have followed their journey, the truth resonates on a deeply human level. It is a story of persistence over spectacle, devotion over performance, and connection that outlasts public expectation. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill have created not just music but a legacy of love that continues to inspire, demonstrating that the most enduring relationships thrive not in perfection but in authenticity and trust. For more emotional stories, check out this video.